Welcome, bienvenidos. This is Roxana from Metamorphosis Rocks, and today we're going to have a little chat about the power of influence. Now, this is inspired by something that I saw this weekend on social media, specifically on Twitter, and I was debating on how I was going to make this video because I did not want to further injure the injured party. But I went ahead and I asked for their permission, which I normally don't do. I really couldn't care less. If it's public and you didn't delete it and you're not Thomas Halbert, I don't ask for permission, to be honest. If you posted it, you should take the heat. That's the way I feel about it. I asked her permission and she told me it was okay because she thought the message was too important not to talk about. And so there is a series that I have coming up on the beauty community. And on that series, I touch on the mistakes I think the big YouTubers made that the smaller, newer, upcoming influencers shouldn't make. But obviously this needs its own separate video because I don't think people understand the power of their influence. And what I'm talking about is when you have a Twitter account or a YouTube channel, it really doesn't matter if you have 50 subscribers or 1,000,000 subscribers. There is a core group of people that are going to be ride or die. And I have always prided myself in the fact that I love that people disagree with me. Even my ride or dies disagree with me. And we disagree all the time. And I don't have a problem with that. And they don't have a problem with me. I don't like people that follow like sheep. Because if I ever make a mistake, I expect to have my DM flooded with "you messed up." Now, I don't care that you call me out on public. I don't think that's nice. It's okay if you do it, but I would rather you contact me in private and tell me, I think you messed up. Because we might disagree on whether or not I messed up or not. But if enough people tell me, yeah, I think you messed up, I probably reconsider it. But we're not talking about me today, so we're not going to get into that. Now, for those of you who've never been here before, hi, my name is Roxana. And I talk about everything and anything that's happening on social media and how it applies to us in real life. So on Saturday, KodeeRants posted a rant about the Bratz doll challenge. If you know me, if you've been here for a while, you know that I have always considered these trendy videos in the beauty community the dumbest thing ever. I remember the Bob Ross challenge, there's been so many of them. The brow challenge, the makeup with brands I don't like challenge, the full face of makeup with brands I have only tried once. Every time somebody comes up with one of these original ideas, everybody has to do the video. It's different than a tag, because in a tag, there's a series of questions and your answer is not going to be the same as anybody else's. But when they take these trends, it comes to a point where all the looks start looking the same, if you know what I mean. Plus, if the whole point of having a beauty influencer on YouTube is for us to learn what they have to offer or for them to analyze a particular product or review a product, I don't get the making these looks that nobody can recreate. Because let's be honest, I'm not going to sit here trying to do a Bratz doll look. And the average person is not going to wear a Bratz look for work unless they're going for Halloween. So anyway, she was explaining on the rant, and I'm going to link the rant below if she still has it up. That she didn't like dolls, and so seeing that many pop up on her feed was kind of a little scary. And I know people that are terrified of dolls. In fact, I live with one. And I know how she might have been ranting for effect, but I know what a real person that has that particular phobia deals with. And like any other phobia, it's not something funny to the person that has that phobia. So on Sunday, two situations started happening on Twitter to the point where Kodee started trending on the page. And I was not aware of what was going on until I opened because I've been trying to stay away from Twitter because I think it's too toxic. And I open my Twitter and I see an influencer who, that particular tweet, I am going to cover her name because she deleted the tweet. But I'm pretty sure that based on what I'm about to talk about, most people, especially if they have Twitter, know exactly who did this. A micro influencer decided to call out the rant, co-tweet the rant, and just say that she said something. I can't remember what she said, but I'm gonna post the tweet. And then it became this. I don't even know how to explain it, but they thought they were funny. It felt like Regina George funny, if you know what I mean. If you've never seen Mean Girls, it was just this group of girls just swarming around. Oh, we should tag her. Well, if she just told you that she's afraid of dolls, why would you tag her on a picture of a Bratz doll? And then, of course, like it usually happens, people started going for her looks and her voice and all this other stuff. And at that point, I said, you know what? Maybe it's my fault because I expected the new up-and-comers, micro-influencers that are rising up the ranks now to be better than the old influencers. Or maybe I just expected too much out of you because this particular influencer is very big on body positivity and looks and all this other stuff. And so, but I think this is bordering on bullying. And by the time I stopped looking at the responses on that comment, I had already seen 3 comments talking about Kodee specifically and not about the fact that she had made this post. Now, here's the thing. There is a level of, on the back of my head of, yeah, this is all because she made that rant about James Charles and they all came for her. And if I find them, I'm going to post some of the comments that these people posted on when that happened because they were vile and they went after her looks again. Because when you don't have anything legitimate to argue, you go for people's looks. And the reason why I'm talking about all this right now is because not only did that happen, but at the same time, there was a trending Kodee Twitter that said, rest in peace, KodeeRants. And you're about to see the images here. And again, I asked for her permission to post these. And the reality is that if it was your family member or your friend, would you like to see somebody doing these horrible posts on KodeeRants being dead? It got to the point where her fans started getting scared because they thought it was true. That's how many of these things there were. Last night at 2 o'clock in the morning, there were still 100 tweets with that hashtag, which means people were still talking about it. I don't know right now, and I don't care. Now, the people whose posts you're seeing, whether it was the James Charles, back on James Charles, or yes, Sunday's situation, are all posts that are still up on Twitter as of the filming of this video, which is why I did not delete the names. I have no intention of deleting the names. You cannot be a bully and then complain when somebody comes and exposes you for the crappy person you are. The rest in peace KodeeRants hashtag just demonstrates more about you than it ever did about Kodee. And the fact that the people on the side, and by the way, these were 2 separate incidents. I don't know if they had shared Twitter users, but I can tell you this. I think it's funny that when I first called them out, the beauty influencers, which was not the rest in peace, when I first called out the beauty influencers, what I got was it was just a joke, okay? But, for the people that are outside that are not in your little clique, that doesn't look like a joke. And then to defend themselves, they said, well, she's mean anyway. Now, is it a joke or is it because she's mean? And by the way, I made it very clear that if it wasn't Kodee, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have said anything. Because there were people under Kodee's rant saying that they were afraid of dolls too, or that they didn't like the Bratz challenge. And you know, it's called an opinion. People are allowed to have one. But more importantly, this particular group of influencers that are up-and-comers, micro-influencers, whatever you want to call them, they happen to have a private chat. They don't think people know, but some of us do. They have a private chat, and they get together, and they agree on attacking a particular person, and they all go and swarm the person. And we've seen this before. In fact, I used to promote some of these people, and I no longer watch them or even have them on my stream because of their behavior. Because you cannot sit there and call out Jeffree Star for being a bully when you're being an even bigger bully yourself. You cannot talk about body positivity and surviving things and being a good person when you're acting like a brat over a Bratz challenge or over James Charles' palette. It's just not right. So you can defend yourself and you can claim whatever you want, whatever makes you sleep better at night. I'm happy for you. But you're just as big a bully as the people you criticize. You just are. And not only are you a bully, but the people that decided to go with this rest in peace hashtag, I want to know how would you feel if it was you or somebody you love that was getting that much hate on social media. Because the excuse that I always get from people defending these is, well, social media is not that bad. I mean, if you don't want to know that they're bullying you, just turn it off. I'm sorry. I have the right to be on social media just like you. And the fact that you think that it's okay to bully somebody because it's on social media and it doesn't matter, you're incorrect. People have actually bullied others on social media and then shown up in real life and attacked them. So it is, you don't know who you're talking to on social media. So you could be having a joke of a conversation and the next thing you know, somebody's dead because of your joke. This has gone far enough. And if you really want to give this beauty community a new branding or a new look, the first people that need to do better are the micro-influencers. There's a lot of really good micro-influencers out there. And on the beauty community series, I have every intention of posting about those people. All the people that disappointed me last year and this year, that have gone out bullying people instead of having a normal conversation in DM and saying what they have to say. Because, by the way, Kodee has a right to her opinion and so do you. But there's ways of doing things. You could have very well said, I don't agree with you and I'm going to keep posting Brad's dolls challenges. And nobody would have had a problem with it. The fact that you decided that, you know what, she's afraid of them so we're going to tag them, that's where you messed up. The fact that you started talking about her brows or her face or her voice or whatever it is that annoys you, that's when you cross the line. And if you don't understand that you crossed the line, then you need to sit down by yourself and look at everything that you've posted on social media from the perspective of, if this was somebody talking about me, would I like it? Because I guarantee you wouldn't. Or if they were attacking your sister or your little brother or your mom, you probably wouldn't like it. But because it's Kodee and Kodee does rants, oh, well, she's fair game. No, ma'am. No, sir. Here's the thing. People have a right to do rants. They're supposed to be entertaining. And her name says KodeeRants. I don't agree with all the rants Kodee does. For one thing, Kodee forgives Shane Dawson for all his irresponsible behavior, and I don't. She has an opinion on some posts that some of my friends have done, and I disagree with what she said. And she knows I disagree with her. But you know what? We are talking like adults. I go in DMs and I tell her, I think you went too far on this one, or I think you did this wrong. I don't go in public and I chastise her for doing something horrible. Because at the end of the day, she has a right to her opinion. If she doesn't like the James Charles palette, she doesn't like it. If she doesn't like Jeffrey now, or if she doesn't like, I don't know, whoever, she has a right not to like people. She has a right to have her opinion. And the fact that you think that because according to you she's wrong, two wrongs make a right, makes you a horrible person. You see, Kodee does the rants for entertainment, but you're actually looking to hurt her. And that will never be okay in my book. Now, what do you think about this? Do you really think Kodee deserved all the hate? And if you're going to tell me yes, I want a legitimate reason. Telling me that she's mean is not a legitimate reason. Going for her looks is not a legitimate reason. Now, if you think she should tone down her rants for whatever reason, you can also post that here. I'm open to all comments. But what I'm not going to tolerate, and you all know I've said this before, this is not a democracy, this is a monarchy. If any of you post something derogatory about me, about Kodee, or about anybody on the comment section, as usual, you're going to get blocked. Have a nice day.